Good morning. I'm in Wisconsin, America's Dairyland, again. This time, I'm headed north of Milwaukee along Lake Michigan's shoreline. I'm on the western shoreline of Lake Michigan, or do you call it the east coast of Wisconsin? In any case, I'm headed north toward Door County. This is my first September bike tour. Usually I bike tour in June and July, and then in August when the kids go back to school, I go back to work. But this year, when the kids went back to school in August, I didn't. And then it hit me. Hey, I'm retired. I'm going bike touring. I rode a few rail trails this summer, really enjoyed them, but I'm ready to get back on the road. Do some real honest-to-goodness bona fide bike touring again. Feels good to be free. Actually, I'm so out of shape, it's going to take me many days to get these legs road ready again. So my wife put me on an Amtrak train in Carbondale about 7:30 in the morning. Next thing you know, I was in Milwaukee. So I stayed in Milwaukee, and the next day I found the Oak Leaf Trail. The city of Milwaukee has an excellent urban bike system. It's mostly designated bike path, but in a few places it's on paved roads with a designated bike lane. But it takes you all the way around and through the city of Milwaukee. There's a lot to see in Milwaukee. So I bolted north as fast as I could to get out of Milwaukee. Hit the Lake Michigan shoreline. Had some nice views of Lake Michigan along the way. I went through Port Washington, nice little town right on the lake. It's the trout fishing capital of Wisconsin. And here I am at the end of the day, and I'm staying at Kohler Andre State Park. It's a nice little state park right here on Lake Michigan with some awesome beaches and sand dunes. I'm staying here at Kohler Dunes State Natural Area. It's part of the Kohler Andre State Park. This place has got some awesome beaches. It's Labor Day weekend, and it's going to be hot. So this place is going to be packed with people. Fortunately for me, the Wisconsin State Parks have a policy not to turn away hikers, bikers, or kayakers. So I rolled in here around 4 o'clock this afternoon, and even though the campground was full, they still found a place for me because I came in on a bicycle. But touring here in Wisconsin is just a joy. Most of my first bike tours were here in Wisconsin, so it brings back fond memories. At the end of day one, from Milwaukee to Kohler Andre Park is about 63 miles. So, here we go. I'm off on another bike touring adventure here in Wisconsin, America's Dairyland. Good morning. It is Sunday, September the 3rd, and I'm on the Lake Michigan shoreline heading north. I started today at Kohler Andre State Park, right on the beach there, just south of Sheboygan. And tonight, I'm headed to Point Beach. So I got an early start, kept riding north. They got some nice cafes in Sheboygan, open early too. So I got breakfast at the Cafe Bella. The road doesn't stay right along the lake shore. It runs just a little bit inland, but every once in a while you see a peak of Lake Michigan. There's lots of private land and a lot of homes along the lake shore. Some really expensive homes, as you can imagine. But there were a few stretches right along the lake shore. I went through Manitowoc, nice little lake shore community. Manitowoc is where you catch the ferry. It takes you all the way across Lake Michigan. Just north of Manitowoc, there's a pretty little town where two rivers come together. It's called Two Rivers. The weather's been hot. It's been in the 90s. Even though we're right next to the lakeshore, and the lakeshore normally acts as a natural air conditioner, it's still been in the 90s. But the nice thing is there's been a nice wind out of the south, pushing me north. So even though it's hot, the tailwind helps out. Tonight, I'm staying at a hiker-biker campsite at Point Beach State Park. The state parks up here are all really nice. There's nice beaches and nice sand dunes. They don't call them the Great Lakes for nothing, you know. And Lake Michigan's one of my favorites. So here at the end of day 2, I got in about 55.6 miles. And here I am at Point Beach State Park. Just creeping my way up the shoreline of Lake Michigan. So I'll see you down the road. Well, good morning. Here we are. It's day 3 of my ride to Door County in Wisconsin. I'm at Point Beach. I got up extra early today to catch the sunrise over Lake Michigan, and I was not disappointed. All the nice sunsets over Lake Michigan are on the Michigan side, but here on the Wisconsin side of the lake, you get a beautiful sunrise. It's nothing like taking an early morning stroll on the beach and checking out the sunrise. Gonna go through Kewanee today, nice little town on the lake, and I hope to get to Sturgeon Bay, which is the doorstep of Door County. It's gonna be about a 55-60 mile day. Door County is that little dagger of land that sticks out into Lake Michigan just north of the city of Green Bay. It's got Lake Michigan on one side, Green Bay on the other side. There's some really cool Wisconsin beaches along the way, and Door County has some of the best scenery, the most picturesque little towns, and some of the most laid-back people in the state of Wisconsin. And I'm north of Kewanee, here along the Lake Michigan shoreline. The roads usually don't follow the shoreline. They're inland just by a little bit. So you still feel like you're in Wisconsin dairyland, just Wisconsin farmland. So you're just traveling through corn and soybeans. And every once in a while, the lakefront opens up and you get a nice view of the lake shore. They don't waste an inch. They farm right up to the lakefront. Here on the Wisconsin side, the land just seems to drop off right into the lake. This is America's dairyland, you know, eh? And now you know what they mean by a Wisconsin farmer's daughter. I'm just north of Kewanee. I've got about 32 miles in so far. Gonna stop at Sturgeon Bay tonight. But I'm just taking a break here at the wayside. Still got another 25 miles or so to go yet. Yeah, and I got a nice little tailwind pushing me along, which always helps. Headed north along the Lake Michigan shoreline. See you down the road. Good morning. It is Tuesday, September the 5th. It's the day after Labor Day. I'm in Sturgeon Bay, and I'm headed north for the tip of Door County. I'm headed for Allison Bay today. Should be about 50 miles or so. It's gonna be another hot day, but there's still a wind out of the south, which hopefully will push me north. Behind me is Green Bay. Yeah, not the town Green Bay, the actual bay Green Bay. Green Bay is actually a body of water. It's between Door County and the rest of Wisconsin. The west side of Door County faces Green Bay, so they call that the Bay side. While Door County's east side faces Lake Michigan, so they call that the Lake side. So I'm headed north along the Bay side of Door County, keeping Green Bay on my left and the rest of Door County on my right. I wanted to make sure I wasn't speeding. I don't want to get a ticket. Over my shoulder, it's the Niagara Escarpment. It's Silurian dolomite that's extra hard rock. It forms the spine of Door County, and it extends into the Upper Peninsula of Michigan and then into Ontario, Canada. It's about 650-mile long rock escarpment that's recognizable. It's a unique geological feature that makes Door County, Door County. Without it, I suppose Door County would have got rubbed off the map by the last glacier that came through thousands and thousands of years ago. I went through some cool bayshore towns like Egg Harbor and Ephraim and Sister Bay. This is a very touristy area, so there's lots of touristy things to do. In Door County, there's some nice sunsets over Green Bay. All right, this is the end of day 4. I finished up in Ellison Bay. It's about a 45-mile day or so. It's Tuesday. It's the day after Labor Day, and all the kids are going back to school, but not me. Yeah, I'm still on vacation. I want to see how the rest of the world lives. You know, the non-working world. Hey kids, vacation's over. Get back to school. Hopefully the parks and the campgrounds will be less crowded. Be easier to get a hotel reservation. Summer vacation's over. Yeah, for you guys. This morning at about 8 o'clock, I thought I heard a collective cheer go out throughout the land from all the parents of the children that have to go back to school. Yeah. Of course, about the same time, I heard a collective groan go out from all the teachers out there that have to go back to work. Yeah, but not me. I'm going north. Good morning. This is Wednesday. It's day 5. I'm in Door County, Wisconsin, up in Gills Rock. Boy, the weather has just completely changed. It went from sunny and hot with a wind out of the south, and now it's cloudy and cold with a big stiff wind out of the north. But I'm going to take a day ride today out to Washington Island. So I stripped down my bike and took only what I needed for the day. There's a ferry that leaves from Gills Rock. So I'm just going out to Washington Island and then back to the hotel. So anyway, I took the ferry out to Washington Island and I explored Washington Island. It's a great place. Anytime you add a boat ride on Lake Michigan to a bike tour, I'm all in. Let's go. Yeah, it was rough water out there today. Took me a little while to get my sea legs. While out riding on Washington Island, I stopped at Schoolhouse Beach. What a cool place. The beach there is all rocks. You're not allowed to take the rocks because the rocks are too cool. If you were allowed to take the rocks, pretty soon there'd be no rocks left. It's gonna be 1,000 years before this beach turns sandy. I went out to Jackson Harbor. Jackson Harbor's got a little cafe where I had a sandwich and some soup. It was really good. Warmed me up on a cold, windy, cloudy day. You can take a ferry out to Rock Island State Park. Seems less touristy up here, less crowded, a little bit more rustic. Almost feels like you're in the wilderness. But I'm at the northern tip of Door County, and you can't go any farther north than this. So there's only one way left to go, and that's south, back to Sturgeon Bay. I was talking to the guy at the motel. He said that some people miss the last ferry and they end up spending the night on Washington Island. I sure don't want to do that. Anyway, the last ferry back to the mainland leaves at 5 o'clock, so I got to make sure I catch the last ferry. But after exploring Washington Island, now I'm headed back to Ellison Bay. Tomorrow I'm going to head south. I should have a nice kicking tailwind out of the north. I'm going to head back to Sturgeon Bay and then eventually Green Bay. So even though it's a cold, cloudy, windy day, the extra effort it took to get out to Washington Island was definitely worth it. Get out there and explore. So, all told, a little day ride today up to Washington Island. It's about 32 miles. Good morning. Today is Friday, it's September the 8th, and I'm in Ellison Bay, Wisconsin, up in Door County. Today I'm headed south, back to Sturgeon Bay. But this time I'm going to take the lake shore. Can't really go any further north, not without a boat anyway. Well, alright, this is still day 6 in Door County. I started this morning in Ellison Bay, and I went south, back through Sister Bay, but instead of riding back the way I came, I went down along the lakeshore side instead of the bay shore side. So I followed the lakeshore south as close as I could. I went through Bailey's Harbor, it's a really nice little town, and I went through Jacksonport. Crossed the 45th parallel today. That's the line of latitude that's halfway between the equator and the North Pole. And I followed some roads through Whitefish Bay State Park. They hug the shoreline as close as they can, but there's a lot of private land along the lakefront. Some really nice homes too. But it's all private beach and you can't really access the lakefront. Every once in a while it opens up to public beach, and then anybody like me can access the lakefront. I'm not done exploring Door County yet. Tomorrow, I think I'm headed for Green Bay, the town Green Bay, but not before I explore the Anape Bike Trail. I've got reservations tonight in Sturgeon Bay. It's getting late in the afternoon, so I'll see you down the road. All right, good morning. It is Saturday morning. It is September the 9th, and this is day 7 in Wisconsin. This is my last day in Door County. I spent last night at Sturgeon Bay, and I'm still heading south. But today I'm taking the Anape Trail. The Anape Trail connects Sturgeon Bay to Kewanee. I don't know how I missed this trail on the way up, but it's an awesome trail. I'm glad I'm using it on the way back again. So I'm going to follow the Anape Trail south, but instead of going to Kewanee, I'm going to take the spur that goes through Casco and then to Luxembourg. It goes closer to Green Bay. That's where I'm headed. The Anape Trail is a nice break from traffic. The traffic wasn't too bad in Door County. There was a nice bike path along just about every road. But it's nice to be back on rail trail. Can stop wherever I want to. No cars or trucks. Just nice and peaceful. Anyway, this is my last day in Door County, but once I get to Green Bay, the Wisconsin bike adventure continues. I'm here at Lambeau Field in Green Bay. The Packers are playing the Bears today. I got here early because I didn't want to miss the kickoff. Only problem is they're playing in Chicago. Bummer. So I guess I'll have to catch the game on the radio. I don't even root for the Packers. Anyway, I'm in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Good morning. I'm in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and I'm riding the Mountain Bay Trail. The Mountain Bay Trail is an 83-mile rail trail that starts in Green Bay. Actually, it starts in Howard, Wisconsin. It's just west of Green Bay. Howard is voted one of the safest towns in Wisconsin. The trail goes west, out to Weston, about 8 miles east of Wausau. Tonight I'm headed for Shawano. It's going to be about a 45-mile day. The Mountain Bay Trail connects Rib Mountain to Green Bay. That's how it gets its name. Get it? Rib Mountain, Green Bay. So it's going to be another cool, drippy little Sunday morning. This is a Wisconsin pay-to-ride trail, so it's $5 a day, or $25 for the whole season. I bought my season pass back in July, and it's good for all Wisconsin bike trails. So if I get stopped by the bike patrol, I can whip out my little season pass and show them that I'm all paid up. But I didn't mind paying because the state of Wisconsin is dedicated to building and maintaining bike trails all over the state. My early research suggested that this trail was kind of rough, but so far the trail's been in really good shape. It's crushed limestone, So far, the trail's not been soft or muddy. The trail's divided into 3 sections. There's the Brown County section, the Shawano County section, and then the Marathon County section. But you can tell each county does its own maintenance on the trail. There was a big change from Brown County to Shawano County. It went from full crushed stone to a 2-track trail just crossing the county line. But that's alright. Even in Shawano County, the trail's been in good condition. There have been some grassy sections, but the grass is kept short, so it's kind of like riding on carpet. It's nice and smooth. This trail really has 2 seasons. In the summertime, it's all about biking, but in the wintertime, it's about snowmobiling and cross-country skiing. It gets pretty cold up here in the North Woods in the wintertime, so it's good to know where the pubs are located. Get to warm up and rehydrate. Alright, I'm out here on the Mountain Bay Trail. There's like nobody out here. I got the place to myself. I guess being a Tuesday after Labor Day is pretty nice. But yeah, I haven't seen a single person out here all day. Tomorrow I'll be on this trail all day again, all the way to Weston. But for tonight, I'm stopping in Shawano. Good morning. It is Tuesday, September 12th, and I'm on the Mountain Bay Trail. I started yesterday morning in Green Bay, and I stopped last night at Shawano, Wisconsin. Well, today I'm starting in Shawano, and I'm headed toward Weston. It's going to be about a 55-mile day, but it's all on trail, so that's kind of nice. They're calling for sunshine, but I don't see it. It's pretty cloudy and cold this morning. The Mountain Bay Trail in Wisconsin goes through a mixture of agriculture and forest. Of course, Wisconsin's known for its farmland, so they grow lots of corn and beans, and they got lots of dairy farms. But we're pretty close to the North Woods, so there's lots of tree cover too along the trail. It provides shade and mostly blocks the wind. This northern forest has plenty of red oak, birch, spruce, pine, sugar maple. It's early September here in the North Woods, and some of the trees are even starting to change color and drop their leaves. Seems a little early for me, but I'm from Southern Illinois. They're even calling for an early frost tomorrow night, so put on your booties and put on your gloves. It's going to be a cold one. I'm not used to all this fall bike touring. I'm used to dealing with the heat, not the cold. Yep, clouds are breaking up. I think the sun's going to come out. I can see little patches of blue sky. Anyway, I stopped in Bowler for lunch. Very timely, too. There wasn't much in Bowler, just a little convenience store. Yeah, I just had a piece of pizza. But yeah, this Mountain Bay Trail's really turned out to be a nice trail. I didn't have much of an expectation for it. I figured it'd just be farmland. You know, corn and beans and cows and, you know, just farms, agriculture. But it's been tree-lined almost all the way. I feel like I'm in the North Woods. Yeah, I sure love a bike tour that includes long 80-mile stretches of bike path. Here in Wisconsin, there's rail trails all over the state. So if you're ever in Door County, or in Green Bay, or anywhere in northeast Wisconsin, make sure you check out the Mountain Bay Trail. It's a great find. Here at the end of the day, just as I was coming into Weston, there was a stray rain shower. That, combined with a few sun rays, produced a nice late afternoon rainbow. All right, today's Wednesday. It's September the 13th, and this is day 10 on my Wisconsin bike adventure. For the last 2 days, I was on the Mountain Bay Trail, and last night I stayed in Weston. Well, I'm gonna take a left-hand turn and head south toward Madison. Tonight, I'm gonna make it to Watoma. It's gonna be about a 75-mile day, so I don't have time to goof off today. Probably put the camera down a little bit, take a little bit less video. I gotta start getting serious about this bike touring stuff. These are short days in September. I'm only about a week away from the equinox, so there's not much more than 12 hours of daylight in one day. But I can't be sitting here for too long. I got more miles to go, so I'll see you down the road. But I'm just jamming down County Highway J, heading south toward Watoma, and I got the pedal to the metal. It's been a cool, cloudy day. Not much sunshine to warm up my bones. But there's a slight tailwind out of the north, and that's a good thing. But County Highway J is a quiet little back road with not much traffic. So it's actually a real pleasant day for bike touring. Not much to look at anyway. It's mostly just farmland. So there's plenty of dairy farms and cows. You know, America's dairyland. I don't think this is the most scenic or touristy part of Wisconsin. Along with the farm fields, there's plenty of forest though. But fall comes early in the North Woods, and some of the trees are already starting to change color, giving a hint that fall's not far off. And the weather actually feels like a fall day. Fall is definitely in the air. Yeah, from Weston to Watoma, it was just some good old time bike touring. You know, had a destination in mind and just went for it. Didn't really worry too much about videotaping. I had a place to be and I needed to get there quick. And when it was all done, it was about 69.5 miles from Weston to Watoma, and I made it with plenty of time to spare. It's Thursday, September the 14th. It's day 11. Last night I stayed in Watoma. I'm headed for Portage today. It's gonna be another medium day, about 45 miles or so. But it's about a perfect day for bike touring. Blue skies, high temperatures in the low 70s. Went through a cute little town called Montello. Population about 1,500. Had a waterfall right in the middle of town. Crazy. Rural Wisconsin is very pleasant to bike tour through. It's just a really nice rolling countryside atmosphere. Plenty of farm fields out here, broken up by patches of forest. Yeah, the state highways that I've been on have actually been pretty nice. The pavement was smooth with a big fat shoulder. I'm trying to stick to the back county roads. There's fewer cars and it's a lot quieter. It's like old time bike touring, eh? Up here in the great state of Wisconsin. I met some folks hiking the Ice Age Trail. The Ice Age Trail is a hiking trail that takes you all over the state of Wisconsin and covers the many glacial features. After all, Wisconsin is a heavily glaciated landscape. Right now I'm sitting here at the John Muir County Park. Unless there's a different John Muir, I suppose he spent some time in Wisconsin before he left his boot tracks all over Yosemite Park. I'm at the Fox River National Wildlife Refuge, following the Fox River. This must be a great stopover place for birds. In the last 5-mile stretch, I've seen great blue herons, sandhill cranes, and Canadian geese. But I'm gonna make Portage tonight, and I'll be in Madison tomorrow. After that, I'm not sure where I'm going. Probably back to Illinois. There's a lot of nice trails out of Madison, and there's one I've been looking at that goes to Illinois. But it's a beauty day for bike touring, and I gotta get going, so I'll see you down the road. Alright, it's Friday, it's September the 15th, and this is day 12. Last night I stayed in Portage, and today I'm headed for Madison. It's going to be about a 50-mile day. Getting up bright early start. Heading south out of Portage, there's really only one road, and that's Highway 51. It's decent for a little while, but then it just turned to crud. So I looked for an alternative. Fortunately, there's some nice back county roads. So even though it added a couple miles to the total, ride on those backcountry roads is definitely worth it. It's much quieter, fewer cars, smoother road too. Yeah, just because an area is glaciated doesn't mean it's flat. Moraines are also glacial features, and moraines are big hills. And south of Portage, just north of Madison, there were some nice glacial hills. Combine that with a little headwind, makes for a tougher ride. Alright, here I am in Madison. Madison's the capital of Wisconsin. Wisconsin's a very bike-friendly state, and Madison is one of the most bike-friendly towns in Wisconsin. The bike path system in Madison is excellent. There's bike paths all over town. Anywhere you want to go, there's probably a bike path that'll take you there. So I'm just sitting here at the city park in Madison, and there's 3 sandhill cranes walked right past me, and a family of deer came out and started eating acorns. Yeah, it was a real Marty Stauffer moment. So while in Madison, I made sure I checked out the state capitol. That was pretty cool, right downtown. There's a lot going on downtown Madison. No trip to Madison would be complete without a visit to the Otis Redding Memorial. Otis Redding was a soul musician back in the 60s who lost his life in a plane crash in Madison. And now I'm sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. South of Madison is the Badger State Trail, so that's where I'm headed next. Wow, my nose really got burned, huh? It's from that helmet. Today's Saturday. It is September the 16th. And this is day 13 on my Wisconsin bike adventure. Last night I stayed in Madison, that's the state capital. And today I'm headed south on the Badger State Trail. Yeah, so in addition to being America's Dairyland, Wisconsin's also the Badger State. So watch out for badgers. Yeah, watch out for that little bucky badger. Badger State Trail is about a 40-mile rail trail that goes south of Madison all the way to the Illinois state line. At the Illinois state line, the trail becomes the Jane Addams Trail and goes all the way to Freeport, Illinois. I'm not sure where I'm going to stop tonight. I might stop in Monroe or I might stop in Freeport. But it's another one of those excellent Wisconsin rail trails that's got to be checked out. Well, here I am. I'm still on the Badger State Trail. Up in Wisconsin, you know, the Badger State. Wisconsin is just a great place to go bike touring. There's a lot of rural areas with farmland and fields and forests. It's not flat. It's a glacial landscape, so there's plenty of rolling hills. So if you're looking for a great place to go bike touring, check out Wisconsin. How do you like my new helmet, eh? Pretty nice. $10 helmet for a $10 head. I took the Badger State Trail from Madison all the way to the Illinois state line. In Illinois, the trail becomes the Jane Addams Trail, and it goes all the way to Freeport. I think I'm going to end this trip here in Freeport. Freeport is on the Grand Illinois Loop, and that gives me a great idea for my next bike adventure. Well, I started about 12 days ago in Milwaukee, and I rode from Milwaukee to Madison, the long way around. Instead of taking the direct route, I went north of Milwaukee along the lake shore up into Door County, all the way out to Washington Island. Came back down through Green Bay, took the Mountain Bay Trail west, all the way out to Weston. From Weston, I headed south to Madison. So really, it was just Milwaukee to Madison, just the long way around. But Wisconsin's got some great places to go bike touring. I hope to see you down the road. Thanks for coming along. Now go ride your bike.